Hi there. Welcome to my channel, Handmade by Hannah. If you haven't been here before, this is a place that I share all of my sewing and everything that's going on. And if you have been here before, welcome back and thank you so much for watching. Today I am going to be talking about the wedding dress that I've been working on since July of 2022. The wedding was supposed to be in October of last year and it got pushed back to this February 18th. And so now that it's over, I am able to share the process and everything that went into making it. Now, I know people make wedding dresses all the time, but for me, this is extra special, not only because a friend from church asked me to help her make it, but because it was a continuing journey a very big step in my continuing journey of both designing and sewing. And so it was a big confidence booster, but also very, very nerve-wracking. So let's dive right in. I'm going to start from the very beginning and walk you through my design process as well as the, and finishing up and everything. This is actually going to be a two-part video, mainly because there's a lot involved and I am still waiting on pictures of the final dress from the wedding photographers. So the bride has not got those back to me yet and she's on her honeymoon right now. So hopefully in a week, by next Friday, I should be able to get that all uploaded for the second part. Anyway, so back in June, my friend approached me and said that she had an idea that for a wedding dress, and she was pretty sure her significant other would be proposing. In fact, they had been talking about it, and so she wanted to get a jump start on that. And so she showed me a couple of pictures and described what she was looking for, and I caught her vision. And so that helped greatly in the whole design process because I was able to see what she was seeing. And so then that made it a lot easier to put it onto paper and then into a pattern and then a muslin and then the final dress. So when she was ready to start that, I went and met with her and I started out with a couple of drawings for her based on what she had described. Now I did have another one, you can kind of see on the back what I was thinking she might be looking at, but she really liked the princess bodice. And so that first meeting I drew it out. We decided on kind of what she was looking for. She wanted a slit down from the mid hip going all the way down straight in the front, but with a nice long train in the back. You can kind of see the back sketch right there. And I already had an idea of what patterns I would be using to do this. And then, of course, I took all of her measurements and made some notes and everything, and what we're looking at as far as fabric-wise, too. So I started with a basic princess, just a generic princess seam bodice. I did a sweetheart neckline, as you can see on the picture and everything. Long straight sleeves. She wanted everything very fitted. And so that was our starting spot. So the bottom, the skirt, I actually had already been eyeballing some fancy patterns, and the Ornella dress by Vicky Sews was what I went to for the skirt. And because it had a nice full big train, you can make it a little bit bigger, a little bit longer if you needed to, but with that nice straight skirt in the front. And so easy enough to adjust for a slit, put in the extra, basically make a seam down that center, which actually matched up with the princess seam going from up in here. Actually, did it go? Yeah, the princess seam actually was went into the armpit. So an armpit princess bust, and it went down, and so it matched that seam going down for the center slit. So that made that part actually pretty easy. And then I started putting that all together, got the measurements all together. You can see this is my normal go-to on my pattern, my printed out patterns and everything. And so you can see kind of all of my notes and everything. I got some on the back, and there's been a few sticky notes attached to this. So just reminding myself on different things about this. So I finished up the first, cut it out, finished up the first toile, and I'm going to show you some pictures, kind of from that. The first one's going to be the, laying it out and cutting it out of that first muslin, and then getting together the bodice and then the full dress. And that is the very first, muslin that we had finished up that we were now going to go fit and do any design work that we needed to do. So then we came to the very first fitting, and that would be where we talked about any design modifications that needed to happen, what she was really looking for as far as fit goes. And so she really wanted a lower bust and a lower back. Figured out where, her bra line would be. And then, so we would need because the shoulders are fairly narrow, we were going to scoop out this area right in here. And so we needed a ribbon for the back as well. And so the slit was a little lower than she wanted, so made, notes on that and everything. Other than that, the train was perfect for her. She liked everything else that went along with it. So I was really happy about that. So these next pictures coming up are going to show the second toile. All I had to do was just take off the bodice and redo the bodice. So that was really nice because all I did was just to make a note on where the slit was going to end on the dress itself. And so did that, added a ribbon in the back so that we could definitely do the second fitting. I had a couple of closures in the back because I didn't put any buttons in yet. And so then we went to the second fitting. Now, at this point, we also were talking about fabrics. That first meeting, I actually, because we had already talked about this, so I brought some fabrics and some lace and everything that she was looking at, and she wanted a green velvet. And so I went to Joann's and started looking at some of the velvets that I had and everything. And the very first one that I pulled out and showed her, she was like, yes, this is the one that I want. It's actually a pretty decent velvet. It's all polyester, but it's got a really nice, good firm stretch and not a lot, and just really the horizontal, not a lot of pull and stretch going vertically, which is exactly what we wanted because the dress was going to be pretty heavy as it was. Because of the stretch velvet, and that's what she had wanted from the very beginning, in dark green. So I was like, okay, that works. So she picked that out. We had ordered so I went ahead and ordered the fabric, and it came. And so I started working on the dress. And the velvet, I've worked with velvet before, so that wasn't a problem. Started cutting at all my notes, had all my stuff, and I'm sure if you saw on my thing here right up front, don't forget nap. Very important when you're working with velvet. You want it to all be going the same way so you don't have the light reflecting off of it in different ways, so you get a different look in like one part of it. So that was, we ordered 10 yards to make sure that we had enough, not only for the skirt but also to cover any changes that needed to be made, and maybe with a little bit left over. So we started working on that, put it together, and the following pictures, there's quite a bit coming up, just kind of showing you different parts of that. Putting in the buttons was interesting. I actually had some experience with a pattern putting in those basically the button loop trim is what it is, and she wanted them all, of course, all that really fancy buttons all down the back and everything. And so got that all put in and all adjusted, and including the buttons, which 36 buttons, not including the sleeves, because those weren't put in, and those wouldn't be put in until the very end, right before her wedding. So that was a lot of little buttons, but it actually went together very smoothly. And starting with part 2, I will be showing you that third fitting, because what we're doing, no, that was the third. Yes, third fitting. That was the first one with the actual dress. And so that was very exciting. But that will be in part 2, hopefully coming next week. So as you can see, this is turning into quite the epic dress. Now, by this point, we already knew that it would be pushed back to from October to February. And talking about in the next video, we'll go through that third fitting, and then all the finalization and some changes that the bride wanted right before Christmas. I didn't start working on it until January because we did have some time after Christmas and the New Year before the wedding. So anyway, I thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you. I hope you continue watching my channel and enjoy the content that I'm putting out. Please comment if you have any questions or comments. This is something that I really enjoy, and I just absolutely love sharing. Wherever you are, take care, whether you're getting slammed by ice, snow, or heat. What a lovely weekend this is. So anyway, take care. Bye.